when I got my first paycheck in the first bank that I worked, first bonus paycheck, I blasted the whole bonus paycheck on Chanel.
Whoa, wait. No clapping.
No clapping.
No clapping.
Okay.
Let's hear how this story ends.
Hi, Cecil.
Hey, Zara. And I'm Jermaine.
And welcome back to another episode of Complexities Podcast. Quick question for the floor. Have you girls ever spent money on something and regretted it? Yes or no? 3, 2, 1.
Yes.
Oh.
No regrets.
Yeah.
Well, today we actually are not alone in this, and we have someone who maybe can help us justify our purchases.
Yes.
I don't know if that's what she's here to do, but please give a very, very warm welcome to the head of Group Wealth Management at OCBC, Siew Lee.
Hello, hi everyone. Hello. 3 beautiful ladies.
Oh, thank you.
4 now.
So, Siew Lee, have you ever made a purchase that you regret?
Absolutely.
Really?
Even like yesterday.
What did you buy?
I just bought a little keychain because I was really stressed. Then I asked myself, do I really need that keychain? Because I'm a Hello Kitty fan. Oh,
so cute.
How
much was it?
It's only about $5 or something.
But you
I
regretted
don't
it?
need it. But I don't need it.
But it made you happy.
But it made me happy. You know why I say that? Because of like I was having a very bad day at work. Then I said, finally, it's the end of the day. So I went for dinner with my husband, and then I passed by this like little shop, and I saw the keychain was quite cute. So I said, I just need to get it, right? And then I brought it to my desk this morning, and then I looked at it. I said, okay, it gives me some peace. But I really don't need it.
But it was worth it because it gave you a momentary happiness.
Yeah, momentary happiness. That's the word.
Wow. I can tell how much of a rational person she is. No wonder you're head of wealth management. Huh?
Oh, thank you.
I'm looking forward to some sound advice today.
Yeah.
Okay, absolutely, you will get it.
Siew Lee has had over 15 years of experience in investments and wealth management. So you're very good with money, I assume.
I enjoy helping customers like yourself, right, to plan for your future. Right, I like to break down very difficult financial concepts into simple bite size for all of us to understand. So I hope I can be of help to every one of you to demystify certain financial concepts.
I think I absolutely need that.
So question, because we always hear people saying things like the earlier you start, the better. And I think we're pretty lucky because I think we started pretty early. But, just a rough figure, how old do you start, like really investing maybe?
18, it's the regulated age.
Oh, okay.
Right.
18, you're allowed to
that's
okay,
start
okay,
investing.
right?
Sure.
But we advocate like 21 or something, right?
Okay.
Yeah, but the thing
Still
is that
early.
it's still early, but you do have you do work, right? We all work, right?
we all work,
So we
yeah.
have a sum of money, right?
This is our job.
yeah. So,
Yeah, we are actually working right now.
So it's how you apportion that sum of money into something that is palatable to your lifestyle. Right. But very importantly, you must always save for rainy days.
Right.
And that equates to about 3 to 6 months of your monthly expenses. And then after that, whatever you have left, you should invest 10% of it.
10% of
When
what's
did
left.
you start investing personally?
Okay, unfortunately, I started investing when I started work.
Okay.
Right.
Why
for most
unfortunately?
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when you're in school, you tend to splurge a lot of things. That's like buyer's remorse. You see your friends having certain things and then you want to buy. Then, that time during my era, Guess jeans is like the thing. That small little inverted.
Oh, Guess jeans.
Oh,
Yes.
jeans.
It was so cool, yeah.
That's like my era. It was cool then, right?
And you bought it.
Yeah, and I bought it because it's like $129 at
very
that point in time.
expensive,
It's
no?
very expensive. So you can guess my age, right? It's very expensive at that point in time. Just because one of my closer classmates had it, then I looked at it, I said I wanted to buy. So I got money from my mom. But that's like the last time that she's going to provide me money, right? That she said, if you want money next time, you save. And then you buy. And that actually helped me to not have that instant gratification. So
Right.
after a while, I decided I may not need it anymore because I got to wait. Right? If it's $129, let's say it's $100, you save $10 a month. Right? You got to wait for 10 months. Or you save $10 a day, you wait for 10 days.
I agree with Siew Lee. I didn't really understand the value of money until I started earning my own money.
Right.
And then you realize how precious your own money is. When you're young, your parents buy things for you. It's very different. But when you really buy your own things, that's when I think twice, am I going to regret this purchase or not? Buyer's remorse is the sense of regret after you make a purchase, often accompanied by a sense that maybe I could have spent that money on something better. Yeah.
Siew Lee, understand that you are the head of wealth management at OCBC. You are very financially savvy and stuff like that. But who are you as a person?
Me as a
You're
person.
Hello Kitty fan.
Hello Kitty
Kitty
fan.
fan.
Minus
Okay.
my age, I'm just a girl.
Do you love shopping?
Yes, I love shopping. I love eating.
Yay.
Right? I just like to hang out with my
You like
girlfriends.
your bags?
Yes, of course. Definitely. I love bags. Bags is like everybody's good friend, right? Every lady's good friend.
So she lives the high life, you know. She wants to have fun. She wants to enjoy herself.
Exactly, right? So
Yeah.
I'm minus the age and my job and my seriousness. I am just a girl at heart.
I relate very hard.
I
Yeah.
want to be there.
I love everything that's girly. Yeah.
By the way, she's in her 10th year as head of wealth management.
Yes.
I think that deserves a bit of a... Yeah, in her 10th year, I wouldn't think that, Siew Lee, you would ever have buyer's remorse.
I do still have buyer's
But
remorse.
over something like a $5 Hello Kitty
because I
keychain.
won't need it. And that $5, I could have donated it.
Oh.
Right? I could have donated it. You just think that for that $5 for a keychain, which I don't need it, I could have donated it to help someone that's in need.
Okay, but think of it this way. You are donating the money to your own happiness and your own peace.
I think I'm happy.
This is girl math.
It's girl math, right? But I'm happy. I'm
Okay.
happy as I am without buying that keychain.
But you have a very bad day at work.
Yeah, exactly. So that's girl math. Yeah,
You
yeah.
deserve it.
You
Yeah.
saw that keychain and it brought you peace
Correct.
this morning, right?
Yeah.
So it's worth it. It's worth it.
Yeah, but now I'm regretting. It's like, I know after like 1 week or two, I will ask, some people in my office, do you want this? It's quite cute.
Sell on Carousel.
Yeah.
Sell it off. Have you girls ever made a purchase that you then regretted after?
Have all the time, when I buy
Is it?
Chanel bags.
Oh.
Honestly, okay, it makes me very happy. But sometimes when I'm considering other things like my property,
Yeah.
and then I'll be like, should I have spent this
only.
money on that bag 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Because then like I could have bought like 2 more toilet bowls or something, right?
That's adulting leh.
A gold toilet bowl,
Yeah,
you know,
I
the
want
Japanese kind with the hot seat.
Yeah, I want that.
Yeah.
The hot
The
seat, you
bidet.
know? Oh, the bidet. Yeah. So buyer's remorse is real. Plus, my Chanel bag, like as we speak, is peeling at home.
No, I understand that. I tried to girl math my way out of buyer's remorse, right? So I bought this leather blazer from Rag & Bone. It usually costs about $1,000, but it was 25% off because it was Black Friday. So I already saved money there. That's money
Yes.
earned. And then I've worn it, baby, about 20 times.
Okay.
Right? So far, it's been less than a year. So I feel like it's paid for itself. What do
Where
you
is
girls think?
$37.50.
Has it paid for itself?
Okay lah.
I
Okay.
agree. I agree.
But you see, ladies, that's not the way to good financial planning.
Can I tell you something? So recently, right, I was talking to a friend. I was justifying the purchases of like expensive bags. So I said, listen, they go up in price every year. Let's say I bought it at like 6,000. Right now it's at 9,000. If I sell it now, I've used it for a few years. If I sell it now at 6,000, net, break even.
But you sell not.
But that's provided you can sell.
And provided
That's the
you
thing.
will sell.
Yeah.
I won't sell lah because I don't need the money. But if I need, then I have the option, right?
Okay, so what's the right way to go
The
about
right
thinking?
way to go about it is that I can tell you a lot of things that you can find in textbooks, right? That you must set a budget, tell between your needs and your wants. Ultimately, it's self-control and self-restraint. You need to be aware. You need to be aware.
Okay.
Before you decided to go on to saying that even though you have set your budget, like what the textbook tells you, set aside a budget, 10% of your salary goes into investments and things like that. But if you cannot exercise that self-constraint, you will end up having girl mathing your way, right?
Oh.
And then,
Into bankruptcy.
into
Yeah, into
trouble.
bankruptcy.
Into trouble, exactly. Girl mathing your way into trouble, right? And it doesn't help nowadays with social media.
Right. Okay, Siew Lee, what do you think of this concept? Buy now, pay later.
It's a good thing. It's a wonderful invention. But however, if you misuse it, it's a slippery slope.
Would you say it's like a credit card, where people fall into that trap? Because
Yes.
when I first started applying for cards, I was very scared of it because you always hear like horror stories.
Credit card debt.
Yeah.
Yes, and it just snowballs into this huge thing that you can't handle. So for me, from the very start, it has always been I will only use the money. I said I'll use the card, but whatever I'm spending is what I have.
Correct.
Yes.
And credit card, there's actually a spending limit.
Yes.
For buy now, pay later, is there? Like you can just keep going and keep going,
You can
right?
keep going. There is a limit. It's just like credit card. There's always a limit, but you go to if you go to
have
different
different
banks,
credit cards,
different credit
Right.
cards.
But within your means.
Within your means, that's the thing. Your limit is your means. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because you keep, you pay for that thing. You don't pay immediately.
Correct.
You pay like the first month installment, and then it goes on. And end up, you rake out a lot of bills. We have seen lots of cases like this.
So you've seen a lot of young people spend
Yes,
beyond their
exactly.
means, then
Exactly.
they end up in debt. Really?
exactly.
Because they're buying like
They are
what,
buying-
material things.
Yeah, exactly. And with the convenience of online shopping as well, 24/7, right? It's like you really do not know what you're buying, unnecessary things, and you chalk out lots of debt.
It's like an addiction. Sometimes I go on Shopee and I just buy something that's $5, but just carting it out makes me feel ting, like, you know.
And when you receive that parcel, you'll be like, oh yeah, my parcel is here.
Sometimes I forget I even buy it. I'm like, what did I buy?
Yeah. It's
But
like
it's
instant
like
gratification.
Instant gratification. But it's 5 minutes, you know. You open,
Right.
you're happy, and then you're done, and then you buy the next thing.
yeah.
And the worst of all is that you bought the wrong size.
Oh,
I'm like,
happens to me all the time.
Oopsies. No, I do think peer pressure and the influence of social media,
Yes.
because you see people living the high life. They have this, they have that. You
Correct.
want it too, right? You want to be in that circle too. But a lot of times, you know, most of them get things for free, which you don't realize, or they have to return the things that they get, but you don't realize it either. So sometimes you really have to be a more discerning, you know, shopper.
Correct.
Do you really want this, or you want this because someone else has it?
I think bear in mind all the time that people only show you what they want you to see.
Yeah.
Then that will maybe stop you from buying a little bit.
Exactly.
No, but like, correct me if I'm wrong, but why young people or people in general overspend is also because of the lifestyle inflation. Like they
Correct.
see what people have on social media.
you just want to be like them.
Correct.
Yes.
So a story from our PD, she recently bought a Pauline bag for like
Pauline, who bought that?
$600.
Oh, girl.
Girl. But okay, here's the catch. She's not someone who splurges on expensive bags in general. So yes, she girl math her way to the checkout page. But when it arrived, she was initially so happy. Oh yeah, my new bag. Then she realized that it was way too small. It couldn't cater to her needs. And she just thought, oh, it should have gotten something similar but affordable, like a Charles and Keith. Bigger.
Yeah.
Looks about the same. That would have like really suited her needs even more.
Will you donate your Pauline back to us, please? We would be more than happy to adopt it.
She says no right
She
away.
says no. Okay.
She says no.
Okay. No, so we're very much influenced by what we see online, and I was very surprised to see this statistic. S&P Global Financial actually did a literacy survey, and only 59% of Singaporeans are financially literate. What's the definition, Siew Lee, of being financially literate?
Being financially literate means you know how to do your own financial planning.
Okay.
That's not explaining a lot. But basically it's like you know how much you need to set aside for emergency funds. Like I said, about 3 to 6 months of your monthly expenses in the past. And then whatever you have left, right, you need to save like 10% or invest 10%.
Correct.
And then the rest can go to your lifestyle. Right? I don't know how much that's left, right? But that I think should be sufficient, right? If you don't girl math your way or you don't anyhow buy anything, right? And being financial literate also talked about investments, right? You need to know what are the investment products that you can go into, what are the various risks associated with the investment products that you are looking at. Don't buy into crypto when you do not know what's the fundamentals behind crypto. Is it a demand or supply, or is it anything else? So you need to do your research. That's about, in a nutshell, how we define financial literacy.
I have a question. So, you know, when people think about investing, they think it's a good thing, right? Is it always a good thing? Because, for example, when you mentioned about having, you know, savings 3 to 6 months worth of your expenses and stuff like that, I don't have very much cash. My money's everywhere.
In investments, you mean?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So I don't hold very much cash. Is that a bad thing? Is that also like something that has to be looked into?
Yeah, you have to look into, because you need some cash for emergency. Because when you look at investments, right, unless you're prepared to sell your investment at a loss.
Right.
Because investments being investments, it depends on the market movement.
It's a risk.
Right.
Down,
It's a risk.
And when it's
exactly.
down, you don't
and
wanna
when it's
pull your
down,
money
and
out. Yeah.
at that point in time, you need money.
Yeah.
You could have sell at a loss.
Yeah.
If you just invest in a bond, for example.
Yeah.
Right. We heard a lot of bond defaults.
Yeah.
And the bond can actually wipe out literally your whole entire principal with no recovery value. If you invested 200,000,
Right.
it's 200,000 is gone when a bond defaults.
Yeah.
Then where do you get the money when you need it?
Yeah.
So I really, advise that you relook at your portfolio,
Okay.
allocate some part of it into cash.
Take notes. Take notes.
Right.
Wait, that actually happened to me. Like, I let go of my investments at a loss to pay for the down payment of my property. I hope my mom doesn't hear this. Like, she'll be so furious. But yeah, that's what happened to me. So I wish I could have like allocated my funds more properly in that aspect, you know?
correct, yeah.
So when it comes to youths of Singapore, how financially literate do you think they are?
Yeah, so according to our financial wellness index, I need to look at it, right? if you just use the big word known as financial literacy, out of score of 5, they are about the same as overall Singaporean. Between the 20 and 30s, they are
Okay.
rated like 3.2 out of 5, versus
okay.
the average
Okay.
Singaporean
Average,
is about
average.
3.3. So that is good from this airy-fairy word of financial literacy. But if you
Okay.
peel down, right, into the different buckets, right? some amazing stuff, like for example, they can only afford the basics. Those in their 20s made up like 65%. Those in their 30s made up only 58%.
Wait, these can afford the basics? Or?
They can't afford more than
They
just
can't
the
afford
basics.
more the basics.
So they can only afford the basics.
Yes, correct.
And that's
Yeah.
more than 50%.
Yes, compared to overall Singaporeans, which is about 60. But I think the 30s group is a bit concerning to me. Like they're below the Singapore average of 60%. Yeah.
Do you think it's because they've just started setting up their lives, making big ticket purchases?
I would think so. House,
family.
family, marriage, children and things like that, and buying a car. And of course, when you come out to work and then you want to dress like your peers, right? You looked up to certain mentors who carry Chanel bags like you, everybody. I just want to buy. I mean, an example for myself, right? I was sharing with my colleagues, and this is true. When I got my first paycheck in the first bank that I worked, first bonus paycheck, I blasted the whole bonus paycheck on Chanel. Flat.
Whoa, wait. No clapping.
No clapping.
No clapping.
Okay.
Let's hear how the story ends.
Yeah. So I was like so proud. I went with another colleague who is still working together with me. And then that time there was a Chanel store at Isetan Scotts.
Okay.
Which is like no more there. Then we
Yeah,
said that
yeah.
we wanted to pick that Chanel there. Why? So that we can buy the bag, walked along Orchard Road with a Chanel paper bag.
Okay.
That's like, why are we doing that? We say that we are working, again, girl math happened even during my era, but it's not called girl math, right? It's just we say that we have worked so hard for a year. This is like that month of bonus.
And
Just
treat yourself.
Treat myself. We are young, we can earn back. That's girl mathing also. But after a while, what happened to it? I gave it to my mom. And I don't know what my mom did with it.
Nice.
So, you get what I'm trying to say? So
Wait, how much do you spend on the bag? Do you remember?
that time it was like, I think it's about 1,009, relatively
See, now it's
inexpensive,
11,000.
right? Exactly, but by the time, to your point, right, by the time you keep till now, it's like 11,000, it's like
You start
already.
peeling off and discoloration.
Yeah,
and all
so
that.
if I could have like saved that 1,009, maybe I'll be 1,009 richer now. If you looked at it, right?
No, to be honest, right, just particularly this year, I don't know if, you girls are being affected by this, but the economy is quite bad. A lot of businesses are shutting off, losing money, retrenching people, and a lot of my peers are cutting down on material purchases. They are trying to save for a rainy day. They are trying to invest their money where they can because, sometimes you're retrenched, you can't make money from your job. So they're trying to make money in a more passive way, perhaps. Yeah.
I was just speaking to a business owner just yesterday, and he had told me like he had 2 branches of a cheeseburger stores in Singapore, right? And I asked him if he wanted to expand, but he said not this year because he feels like the economy is so bad. He would rather hold on to the money than like risk it and throw it out there. So I do feel like Singaporeans, we are rational
Aware,
enough,
yeah.
or aware enough in that aspect though.
But I hope more Singaporeans would be more aware. We are not saying like everyone is not aware, but I hope, the message can go down to those who are not aware at this point in time. They got to be very self-aware of what they're spending on. So that they, like I said, the first thing is self-restraint. You got to ask yourself, do you really need this? If I buy it, what's going to happen? Just like how you ask yourself, if I didn't buy my Chanel bag, I could have a golden toilet bowl. You got to think like more to the future, right? You are still so young. You got to think more into the future. I need to get married. I need to buy another house. I need to buy a car.
Agree.
Right?
Emergency
I got kids,
fund.
emergency funds,
Yeah.
and things like that.
I think listening to this episode is already your first step. So don't worry if you haven't really started planning, okay?
Yes.
Just listen to the end because there's a lot more good stuff coming up. We heard a lot about this concept of mental wellness in the last couple of years, but now there's a term called financial wellness. Is that different from financial literacy?
Financial literacy, it's knowing.
Okay.
Okay.
Right? By knowing what to do, right? And you do it correct according to advice by experts. That's where your financial wellness will come.
So you're thriving.
Yeah, correct.
So it's a
you have to-
result.
It's a result, right? So once you know that you have enough cash, I have saved for rainy days. So even if I lose my job, I think I have enough money, right, for the next 6 months
To survive.
right, to survive. Because I pay for my daily expenses like insurance, premium, car loan or something like that. That's fine. right?
My insurance, road tax, everything all due this month. It's
Yeah,
quite a
yeah,
tough
yeah,
month.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
it's quite a tough month. Yeah,
I can buy
you
right.
food.
Thank you.
Yes.
Please do. Someone buy me
Coffee on me.
mala.
Coffee on me.
I'm eating grass this month. Yeah.
Then that's where you don't feel so stressed, right? When let's say you lose your job, right? And very importantly, we are living longer,
Okay.
right? With
of
all the
course.
good medical services that we enjoy in Singapore.
Yeah.
So your lifespan will be longer. So you need to start thinking about also protecting yourself. After you save your emergency cash, you got to start having some hospitalization
funds.
the policies you need to buy. That's protecting yourself. So that, recently some family member just got admitted to hospital and the bill came out to like 30,000. But with MediSave, with insurance, right, I only need to pay at the end of the day $4.50. Of course,
That's cheaper than my coffee I
Yes,
had
like
this morning.
caveated is in in restructured hospital, like
Okay.
right. So, but of course you don't go to private hospital, right? Yeah, but you only need to pay $4.50. Right, so that's the importance of MediSave, importance of insurance.
Yeah.
Right, it covered like a $30,000 bill. But of course, my relative is a bit older, therefore there are other subsidies as well. But the insurance cover a big portion of it. So if anything else, you just need to remember to save for rainy days, protect yourself, and probably start planning for your retirement. Put in a retirement sum before you start to invest.
Do we have to
Yes,
start
you need to start
planning for retirement?
That's always the
Is it
look
wrong?
that I get
But
from people. Like you see, her eyes are like
yeah,
staring
we're not
at me.
even 30 yet.
That's what everybody thinks, right? But you need to start because it's the power of compounding.
Oh.
Right.
Is it wrong if I think that my investments will be my retirement money?
You can do that, is true, but is that enough?
Oh.
And your investment lose money. So you really need to sit down, talk to a financial advisor or something, your friends. They will tell you what's your gap. By knowing your gap, then they will tell you, what you need to get into. And you have the time. You got to start somewhere. You don't start when you are 40, right? You are 30. It's a good
I feel
good
like
age
I'm being
to start.
nagged at.
Yeah, mom.
Personally attacked. Yeah.
But speaking about retirement, I do understand that the annual OCBC Financial Wellness Index that was released last November showed that more Singaporeans are pushing back our retirement plan.
Yeah, correct.
Do you think that's because we want to make more money?
I guess not to that extent. It's more about because the economy is like everyone wanted to save, right? Because of pandemic, because of what has happened, the economy is no good. So and of course, the savings interest rate is so high, so everybody wants to save first. And of course, there are certain people who need to use the money to pay for expenses because the jobless rate has not been that great so far. Right, so therefore, a lot of people will push back on savings for retirement. But it's not about stopping. It's about probably every month you put, let's say, for example, $300 into your retirement funds or some investment. You can probably don't stop, but put maybe 150. Right,
Like
because you have
slightly less.
started, but you don't stop. Because once you start something, you stop. It's very difficult to get the momentum going. Just like exercise, right?
It's
you
like a
start,
habit,
it's
is
like a
it?
habit, guy, right? You get to start, and you ladies are very young.
Okay.
Right, so just like start now. It can be as little as $100, right, into a savings plan of sorts. And nowadays, I think like savings endowment plans, it should be quite affordable if you do it on a monthly basis. Yeah.
I actually, once I got my third paycheck, I actually bought like this investment plan that like lasts for 15 years, but every month I pump in money so that it can keep snowballing, so that next time, like if my children needs like education fees or if I want to retire, I have this sum of money I can take.
Correct.
Is that advisable? Because so many people tell me things like, oh, it's ILP, you shouldn't do it. Things
But
like
you
that.
see, that's the thing. I'm not supposed to talk about investment products here, but you just, whenever you go into an ILP or an investment project, just make sure you can take the risk. If you're talking about ILPs is an investment-linked product, right?
Correct.
So it has got underlying their unit trust, their investment products. So you need to know that the value goes up and down. So you need to know the risk. But if you are aware of the risk and you have a longer
Long
time
run,
horizon,
right?
I think it's fine because the investments will work out on its own. But then again, please don't put everything into this because it's risk. Yeah.
Would you like to know I took one step, right? One step.
Yes, paid off, Hazy.
Yeah.
Would you then say that money that you use to invest, you need to have holding power? So it's money that you can live without.
Afford to
Yes,
lose.
correct. You can afford to live without, and you can don't look at it, right? But when you looked at it, then you realize, oh no, why am I losing so much money? So this is where I segue myself into this thing known as review.
Okay.
Right. So let's say you have investment portfolio. You don't just leave it there forever. It's always good to do a review on a yearly basis, right? And say that has it grown? Has it lost money? Right? And your investment link plan, you can go back to the insurance agent who sold this to you and ask, how has it been performing? So that's about asking your existing investments. They say that, so now my financial situation has changed. Maybe you had all of three of you had got promotion after, doing this wonderful podcast, got a lot of bonus and things like that. They say that, I got this sum of money after putting aside some money for savings. What can I do? Can I buy a hospitalization plan? If you don't have already one, then with the rest, can I do some retirement planning or whatever? So it's always good to do at least a yearly review, right? To make sure, because your financial circumstances will change. Anyone who lost a job, for example, maybe I want to go to my financial advisor and say, can I, reduce some of my investments?
When it comes to investments, I'm very low risk, right? Because how to say Hamzi, but in a
Just say, Hamzi.
I'm very Hamzi, so I
What's Hamzi, by the way?
Like
Hamzi is
cowardly,
like
a bit
cow-
scared.
cow-
scared,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm very low risk. So I did this test. I think OCBC has it. It's called the Financial Personas Quiz.
I did that too.
Yeah, and it showed me what I am. I'm called the God. So just like a real guard, I seek security, stability, and safety. I always make sure my money stays within my compound and I prioritize things like paying off debt, but I'm kind of unsure about how to grow my wealth. I'm emotional and I'm very careful with my money. Except when it comes to bags and stuff. But in general, investments, I'm a bit more hesitant.
Well, I'm on the opposite side. I'm a high risk, high return kind of girl. Maybe that's why my investments haven't been performing the best. I am called the enthusiast. I'm the sort to jump into investments head first, riding high on optimism. That's me. And at times, it's hard to tell if I'm confident or just impulsive. But according to the quiz, your energy is contagious. You love to get things done quickly.
It is.
That's true. Thank you.
I don't think you're impulsive, by the way.
Really?
I don't think so. You use logic and rationale.
Thank you.
Apparently, I'm called the planner.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Apparently, yeah.
Okay. You are
Financial
the,
go-getter.
Apparently, lah.
okay, what does the planner consist of?
Okay, so it says you're a financial goal-getter, always armed with a plan, up to date with the latest developments. Am I? You dare to make bold financial decisions and consistently take steps to turn your plans into a reality.
That I
So
agree.
bold financial decisions is why you invested all your money.
Yeah.
Financial
bold,
decision,
very
yeah,
good.
exactly.
I have some cash to get me by.
but you invested most of it into.
Yeah, and Zura always talks to me about like investments.
Oh, wow.
I'm not usually the most interested, but I listen and I'm like, oh yeah,
for the
cool.
link now.
What are you, Siew Lee?
I think I'm a planner if I remember
really?
correctly.
Oh my god, amen. And for me,
Yeah.
You're going in the right direction.
Direction. Yeah, but
Someday
because
I'll-
of my job, so I naturally need to be like a planner. Right? Financial go-getter, I set the goals, I dare to make bold financial decisions and things like that.
Wow, the
Yeah,
top two personality
confident,
trait.
yeah.
Conscientious and confident.
Is
There's
that
two
like the
ladies
best
here.
one?
I think so,
Do you
right?
want to aim to be the planner? Is that what you're saying?
I don't think so. It all depends on what you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
Right? For me, why I say I'm a planner is because of my job, right? But for you ladies, it will be what you are comfortable with. The test that you took reflect what you're comfortable with. But not to worry, whichever you are, based on the description here, you just need to be, like again, aware. Right?
Okay.
And if you are not comfortable in making investment decisions, the best is to speak to your friends who are financial planners or financial advisors. It's always good to seek help. Right? I cannot really remember the actual numbers, but in our financial wellness index, Singaporeans who sought financial help actually, their investments perform better than those who do not.
Oh, I mean, that
Right.
makes sense.
Yeah,
It's a correlation,
yeah,
right?
right.
Yeah, and they're professionals handling our money for us, right?
Correct, exactly. And of course, you will think that I got no time. These ladies are so busy, right? And I got no time. But if you have banking apps, you can also take a look at how your investments are performing. And when you have the time, then you can, make an appointment or, just go down to the branch and then, during your off-peak hours, which is not the usual Singapore off-peak hours, you have little slots on there and then you just go and get financial advice from them.
That's interesting. So our personas, right? The enthusiast and the guard, we tend to have lower financial wellness index scores. Like Siew Lee said, if you do consult a professional financial advisor, you will have better outcomes. And for the planners, you guys tend to have better investment outcomes. So
Correct. I think the biggest difference is that, like, for people like Jeremy and I get people to handle my finances for me. I'm not sure about you.
I'm low risk, right? So I don't do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I generally don't
right.
do
But you need to
anything.
do something, right? You just need to make sure you select something that is you're comfortable with within your risk profile, and
will
that's
start
where
this week.
the financial
Correct.
planning comes in.
Yeah.
Or if you like, you can look at all the banking apps out there, and you go and do your own homework, and then you decide which investment you want to go into.
Here's the thing, right? I mean, a lot of people say putting your money into the bank is a waste of it, even though there's a
little bit of interest
here
and
and
stuff.
there. But like, I have an e-savings account, so every month it siphons money from my personal savings into the fixed savings, right? Do you feel that it's a waste of money for my savings just to be there?
Yeah, because your savings is just going to earn that stagnant kind of interest rates, and if interest rate environment goes down, the interest is not going to stay like at that 3% of sorts, right? Like if you looked at the time deposit rates, 1 year ago when the interest rates were very high, you can go as high as like 3.9 to 4. But look at where is it right now for OCBC. If you do it at branch, it's about 2.7. So interest rates will come off. Right, so it's not wise to just keep sweeping it there. One day the interest rates will be reduced. So you still need that investments to help to boost up your returns. Although investment comes with risk.
Yeah.
So you can select investments that are lower risk. Right, yeah.
I'm still scared.
I know you're scared, but you need to just take that first step. And I'm not asking you to put, like, if you have 100,000, put the whole 100,000 into the investments, right? Why can't you start small?
Okay.
Start like the regular investment plans. Like, for example, unit trust, we have what we call regular investment plan where you can, like, as low as $100, you can go in first month 100. It's automatic. It's actually available in all the digital banking apps, right?
And these are
You
very
just-
good returns.
Yeah. Then you just put in $100. So you enjoy the power of dollar cost averaging.
Dollar cost averaging.
Yeah.
This is called unit trust. Wow. I feel very
I feel inspired and daunted at the same time.
a little bit.
I think like what Siew Lee mentioned, every little step counts. Like I personally use an OCBC account, and why I used it in the first place was because of the perks that it gives me. If I channel my salary into my OCBC account, you know,
Nice, yeah.
these little things, it might be small, it might be tiny, but it helps.
I think, apart from investing, right, at the very base of it, before you even think about investments and all that, you have to think, are you financially literate? Do you know when to stop yourself from making a purchase that is beyond your means? And not just material things. I know a lot of you like to go on holidays. Yes, I'm talking to myself. Are you spending too much on that trip that you're taking,
But young people always think this way. Money will always come back. But this time, this energy and this youth won't.
Yeah.
I love traveling. Is that an issue, Siew Lee?
It's not issue. You know why? You cannot forever don't travel. And you know how, I'm sorry to say such morbid stuff, you don't bring your money to the grave, right?
Tomorrow
you
is not
still-
guaranteed.
Yeah, so you still need to spend, but spend within your means, like I said. And as long as you got enough,
Yeah.
I found myself very naggy to the 3 of you.
No.
It's very
Yeah,
insightful.
exactly.
Correct.
It's like, as long as you save again 3 to 6 months of your monthly expenses, some of them even say 12 months, whichever you're comfortable with, invest slowly, regularly. The rest of the money, you just need to go enjoy yourself. Right? You need to be girly, you need to travel.
Yeah, I want to be girly and travel.
Yeah, and then it's like when you travel, right? Maybe you don't take the business class first. Maybe you start with premium economy.
Hey, but guess what? I got miles.
That is another thing. You say, I spend this money so that I got miles. You know that's girl math again, right?
yeah,
I spend this money, I got miles. The miles I can change for. It's like, yeah.
I got called out.
I kind of don't want this conversation to end because I'm learning so much from one conversation with Siew Lee. Thank you for sharing.
I'm about to go check all my money after this.
Yeah, me too. I'm about to call my financial advisor. Can we meet for
everywhere.
coffee?
Yeah.
We need to keep track. Okay, Siew Lee, can you share with us some final tips for all the guys and girls who just started managing their finances, please?
Number 1, control your emotions, your self-restraint, right? Don't spend unnecessarily. That's point number 1. Number 2 is start small, start fast, and start now. That's all I can say.
Start small,
start fast, and start now.
I'm powered up.
Yes.
You know, I really love this conversation with Siew Lee, but her time is so precious. I wish I could have kept her for longer, but thank you so much for sharing your insights with us.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you so much. For those of you just starting out, like you're just about to be an adult, getting your life together, we hope this helped.
And if you like Harsh Podcast and our content, you can always follow us on Instagram at isclarity.co for more.
That's right. You can listen to us on Spotify, Me Listen, Apple Podcasts, set on your notifications for new episodes.
Yes, that's right. And you can check us out on YouTube. I heard this one thing that said, you shouldn't give up what you have and need for what you don't have and don't need. So keep what's important to you close, right? And still enjoy your life. Thank you very much, Siew Lee, for being here with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys!
The power of, I forgot the name. What's that? Dollar cost averaging. Suddenly just get me right.
That was so good. That
Really?
was so good. Yeah.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
We could talk all day.
Yeah.
You're very good at this.
It's very insightful and you're very funny. I really think you're very funny.
casual, so people dare to listen.
Oh, okay.
You
Harsh
can be a
podcast like
stand-up
this kind.
comedian. Yeah. If
Yeah,
OCBC
but-
ever doesn't
Stand-up
work, yeah.
comedian.
I think so.
I think because you ladies put me very at ease.
Oh.